Here is Immortal Moments for explanation. Friends, like videos and subscribes to our channel. Immortality Season 6 Episode 6 Explanation. So let's start our explanation. Hey! Fang Han is really a step in the sky now, and actually has a high weight in the feather door, and the power of the gods is wide and boundless. We are afraid that it is not easy to kill him. Afraid of what we have now cultivated into the mysterious secrets, and when the Mountain River List contest is over, it will become a true disciple. He is at the same level as his Fang Han, and he is not allowed to do so. We try our best to find opportunities and kill him. Haha, I don't think we have worshipped the illusionist, and he actually gave us a grain of 7 returning fire gods, cleaning the marrow for us, getting through the bones, and teaching us boundless ***, actually enabling us to step into wonderful world. This is something that you can't even think about. Yes, I don't think we will one day be able to step into the mysterious secret. You said that now we are going back to the great dynasty. Will the emperor come to meet us? Of course, we are now gods, and we have magical powers. However, did we worship the illusionist and the teacher, and did it become a disciple of Yu Huamen? That won't. The illusion has already opened the joints in Huatiandu. We are all righteous disciples of the feathers now, and the illusion says that as long as we keep the latest movements of Yu Huamen to him, it will give us a steady stream. Dan medicine, magic weapon. In short, with the support of this Taoist, we can mix in the feathers of the door. In the future, Cheng Chengzu is not in the words. Hey! That Fang Han still wants to support what Hongyi County owner gets Yin Yang Wanshou Dan. This medicinal medicine is ours. We are targeting Hongyi, starting from the Shanhe list competition. In one corner, 3 people sat together and exchanged with the spirit, these 3 people. Actually Fang Man, Fang Rui, Fang Lai, with the 3 Honor keepers in front of the house, prepared in the form of 3 or 4 layers of the body of the flesh. Now there is a huge force in the body, but hidden in the confined. Generally the master can't see it. Their eyes are occasionally swept over the cold, which is full of grievances, hot, like a snake. 3 things that don't know how to live and die, rely on the Protoss, get the benefits. They think they can be arrogant and can't live for a long time. Fang Han did not look at the 3, but they all felt the eyes of the 3. In my heart just sneer. He is the most understandable reason, the things that the Protoss appeared. I am afraid that Hua Qian does not know, but he knows it clearly. Only the Protoss can have such great powers, and they can turn the 3 sinister slavish sects into a mysterious secret in a year. In addition, although Fang Han has so many resources, medicinal herbs, it is also impossible. However, for these 3 Honos, he is not in the eye. The only worry is that the Protoss behind them, who can lift them to the mysterious world of the year, the realm must be much higher than their own. I don't know how to find the Protoss master. My tree of the world is the nemesis of the Protoss. After the body of the Protoss is taken, it can be refined into a better medicine than Yuan Ying Dan. I was in Taiyuan Xian. In the government, the breakthrough of the magical 5-fold heaven and humanity is the power of the gods released by the genius of the gods and absorbed by the world tree. Only in one fell swoop. If you can kill another Protoss, then the Nebula baby may be able to rely on the power of God broke through to the 5-day world of supernatural powers. At this moment, Fang Han suddenly found an amazing wealth in front of himself. That is the Protoss. Shop everything you need. See more. Shop everything you need. Open AliExpress app. Shop everything you need. See more. Shop everything you need. See more. The body of the Protoss is much stronger and more precious than the devil. No one can take the power of God, refining, and masters of longevity and secrets are difficult. But Fang Han can, because there is a filter of the world tree. The tree of the ancient world is the nemesis of the Protoss. Therefore, the great power of the Protoss will cut down the tree of the world. Although Fang Han has a tree of the world, he takes the celestial spirits and refines the medicinal herbs every day. The daily output is more than 36,000 yuan, but there are 1 million for each of the 3 great swordsmen, and 1 million for Fang Qingxue. Pi? In addition to the daily consumption required for cultivation, he also instills the sacred spirit into the Gengpeng giant egg, waiting for this egg to become a big devouring magic array. this is really getting stretched. Not looking for a new, financial source is really difficult to support. In an instant, hundreds of intrigues and tricks were brewing in his heart, and his face gradually showed a smile. Since the cultivation of Pan with Hercules, his wisdom has become more flexible and he is good at machine change. When the last ringing bell disappeared into the air, the Mountain River List competition representing Yuhuamen officially began. Suddenly on the table below the Shanhe River List, there was a dazzling array of medicinal herbs, magic weapons, and a strong spiritual power emerged. Xie Guangrui even shook his eyes. It seems that this time the feathering door is the big capital to motivate the disciples. There are actually more than 100 treasures, and the yin and yang longevity Dan has 5. Those who did not say that Fang Han had seen the big scene were shocked, and other disciples also gave a sigh of exclamation. Because in addition to more than 100 treasures, there are various kinds of spirits, special products, top grades, middle grades, and lower grades, as many as thousands. Various instruments, charms, that is tens of thousands. For the first time, Fang Han felt the hand of the big door. In particular, the prize of the first place in the Shanhe list is actually a complete set of top-quality treasures. 24 sparkling little golden guns. There is also a picture below. The picture shows a man with a high-caliber costume. He also takes a golden gun and makes all kinds of fierce killings. Or, Qing Long goes out to sea, or, Iron Lock Hengjiang. Every gunshot is murderous, and the compelling guns are infiltrated directly from the picture, and everyone must be stunned. This set of big guns and squadrons is made up of 24 pieces of top-grade treasures, and one array of images. The power is endless. The ancient ruins of the elders who explored the grounds 1,000 years ago, get the baby. I have been storing it in the treasure house of my feathering door. I will take it out this time as a reward and encourage my disciples. You must work hard to practice. An elder in the stand spoke. This magic weapon, I want it, it is too eye-opening. A set of big arrays can be comparable to the best treasures. Several of the true disciples watched are also shining, but unfortunately they are not. Even if it is a supernatural power, the master of heaven and earth, it is very difficult to get such a big array. The magic weapon of the sixfold, Xiantai real person, the mysterious iron battle suit, the black iron sword, and the power of the big guns. Now I am announcing that the Shanhe list competition is now starting. Bang! It is enough to accommodate hundreds of thousands of people in the mountains and rivers of the thousands of platforms, and began a contest. Many inside disciples have shown their talents. Just in the start of the mountain river list, outside the mountains of the Feihuahua mountain, above a hidden mountain peak, there were several black people sitting cross-legged. These black people were especially prominent in the white snow, but they were not afraid of being discovered, because their breath converges like a stone. Magic, you spend so much power, forcing the 3 wastes to the mysterious secret, and arranging the 3 wastes to become the true disciple of Yuhuamen, is it really worth it? A black man is on the illusionary truth of the gods. Fantasy, this time I received the above instructions. My family has gathered 80 billion warriors this time, ready to occupy the Xianhuang big world. Destroy the 2 demons, all races. As long as we occupy the Xianhuang big world, we have based on this, you can base on this and occupy the deeper and richer world of the universe. The Xianhuang big world is the most central position of the universe. It can reach more worlds through this node. This is the most important strategy. The magical god said, and this time using Xian Gong to calculate, we have to win the strategic green of the Xianhuang big world. The most important thing is the feather door. In the future, the feather gate will block the progress of our soldiers. So I did not hesitate to raise the 3 wastes to the mysterious secrets and gave them some magic weapons. Good to gain a foothold in the feathering door. Tell us some information. And use their hands to disturb the wind and rain. Since it is the result of the above calculations, it is necessary to arrange the pieces. It is best to use the tricks to make the door of the feathers split. Another mysterious black man's haze. I have already inquired about it. Now there are a few real disciples who have achieved a great achievement in Yuhuamen. There are many opportunities for us to use. but all rely on the three wastes. I am afraid that it is not insurance. Reassure, these three wastes are just my little pieces. There is also a big chess piece in the feathering door. When the piece moves, the feather door will fall into a state of extinction. So powerful? Which piece of chess is placed on the top? The foundation of the feathering door is strong, especially the few elders who live in seclusion, and they are not dead. The mana is strong and is now fully prepared to meet the Taiku gods in the fairy world. Baptism, but this level is very difficult to pass, but you woman actually found the reincarnation of the ancient elders. Be their true disciple, in case some of the old guys past the reincarnation of the elders, experienced the fairy tales Shenlei, the attack of our family, is also greatly hindered. And when the door is leaping, it can surpass Tai and become the first. Which piece? I don't know, this piece is the most important one placed above. We are not qualified to know, but at the last minute, this piece will help us. There was an arrangement on the top, and I must have ambushed the chess pieces in the Taimen Gate and the various sects in Xiandao. Of course, there are chess pieces in one door. Now among the 10 gates of the fairy road, there are no chess pieces in the exquisite land. Well, this is not our business. Let's see if the three wastes can get the prizes from the Shanhe list. Ah. He actually stepped into the magical mystery. 3 more people from the Fang family stepped into the magical mystery. How can these 3 people step into the magical mystery? Today's inner disciple, there are actually 5 steps to the sky. Only last year, only Fang Han, there are so many this year. It seems that we are not counting on the top 10 of the Shanhe list. The 3 squares of people, start. At the beginning of the Shanhabang contest, it immediately set off a near-cruel fight. Fang Man, Fang Rui, Fang Lai, these few slaves who have had an adventure, seem to be upstarts, fierce and arrogant. Boom! An inner disciple was directly shot and squirted, and the body was full of a boxing body. The whole arm exploded in the air. It turned out to be full of explosive mana in the flesh skeleton of the other side. This method of applying mana is ingenious. It is not like a master who has just stepped into the mystery of the magical powers. Instead, he has entered a long time, and the mana has been used to become a master of the gods. Ha 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 ha. Fang Man laughed and said, "The younger brothers and sisters, my party has already stepped into the mysterious secret, the first place in this mountain river list competition. If anyone is competing with me, then I am not welcome." Just now the injured younger brother is an example. Fang Man, you pay attention, this time the inner disciple is vulnerable, but there are still a few powerful ones. Fang Lai in another platform, the yin and yang strangely said, "But if they stop us from winning the mountain river list the first place in the contest, I got the magic weapon and the remedy, but don't blame me for picking up my hand." Hey! Who dares to stop me? It's just looking for death. Fang Rui grabbed an inner disciple and took it with his neck, letting the disciple's leg slammed hard, and dropped it. The fierceness of these 3 people suddenly shocked the disciples of the audience. The masters of the 3 magical secrets, but also the use of mana to get the master of the gods, some disciples naturally retreat. Even some disciples heard that they had confronted the 3 people and immediately abstained. What to do? Night Rain, you will meet the party when you wait. I have to meet that Fang Rui, can't you abstain? At this time, several female disciples of the Indigo Society looked at the stage. The situation has been discussed. These female disciples of the Indigo Society are just a few people who know each other on the battlefield of the devil, such as Virtual Moon and Night Rain. In the past year, I got Yuan Ying Dan from Fang Han and got a lot of benefits. However, if we want to break through the mysterious mystery, we have to practice for 4 or 5 years. Originally, they prepared for the battle and prepared to get a good place in the Shanhe list competition. However, the sudden emergence of 3 masters of the mysterious secret suddenly became disrupted. Their plans. No matter what. Fang Han will not sit idly by. This time the sects of the mountains and rivers list contest, a total of 5 yin and yang showdown, reward the top 5, there are hundreds of treasures, thousands of spirits, can't let others take it. I think Fang Han is sitting in the town personally, and certainly won't let others get the top 10 rewards of the Shanhe list. But, true disciples must not interfere in the Shanhe list competition. This is the door gauge. He must have a solution. Night Rain. Fang Man. Virtual Moon. Fang Lai. He's Yana. Fang Rui. At this moment, the elders presided over in the ring stage have already sung. Ha 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 ha, actually the sister of the Indigo Club. Fang Man saw a woman flying over the ring, the flash of sinful eyes in the eyes flashed. Sister, you are not my opponent, it is best to abstain, lest I burn the flowers. Although I don't want to poison my hands, my sister prevented me from getting Yin Yang One Shodan and many treasures. I will inevitably hurt you. Pig. The Night Rain looked at the party, and there was a strong disgust in my heart. The face was cold and cold. Oh? You don't know, Fang Han and my Indigo will negotiate, this time. The contest, the top 10, will be taken over by our people. If you know each other, give up, or else, Fang Han's brother will let you survive, and you can't die. What? Fang Han let me survive, can't die? Fang Man's face became awkward. This is a mountain river list contest. There are rules and regulations. The disciples must not interfere in the Shanhe list contest. Fang Han is really powerful. If you don't become a leader, you will start to interfere with the martial art. He has a kind. But do you really think that he can interfere? Well, you are a toast who doesn't eat and drink fine wine. Don't blame me. True disciples really can't interfere in the Shanhe list competition. Even last time, Fang Han and Yi Nantian played against each other, and they also smashed Yi Nantian to the downfall. After the martial arts were completely abolished, they conceded defeat, and Wan Luo was rescued. If Wan Luo shot before this, it would be a stipulation. Even if he is a disciple of Jin Dan, he must be punished and shut into Xianji. Hey! The Night Rain did not speak, the body moved, suddenly hid in the body shape. A flying sword rushed to power, killing Fang Fang. Hey, I want to touch your body and let you know that I am amazing. Fang Man's face was sinister, and he slammed a sigh of relief. Suddenly, there was a violent wind on the platform. A sinister wind blew the occult of the Night Rain, breaking her stealth method, and waving his hands. A vast mana condensed into an invisible big hand, and directly caught the flying sword of the Night Rain. At the same time, his body flashed, and it was close to the Night Rain. Between the catch, the clothes on the Night Rain, the trembles in the screaming, seemed to be blasted. It's not good. How is this man's mana so powerful? The general master of the magical powers, the mana between the 80 horses and 100 horses, this person has a full 500 or 600 horses. Surprised by the Night Rain, she did not expect that Fang Man's strength was so strong. Little slut. Your body is very good. Do you think that your ritual robes can resist my palm? You take it for yourself, I will fulfill you. Her ear came. The party is full of sinful voices. Boom. Just in the heart of the Night Rain, when it was impossible to retreat, the sound suddenly came from the ear, and the whole body suddenly felt relaxed and fixed. Just look at Fang Han did not know when, appeared in front of her, directly grabbed by hand, the mana that shrouded her disappeared, and then a slap in the face, directly hit the square full face. Oh! After being slapped in the face of Fang Han, he was knocked over to the ground when he was full. Wow, he spit out a big tooth and blood. Fang Han! You dare to violate the rules! Fang Fang couldn't believe it. Fang Han actually dared to shoot, and he directly helped in the battle. Violation of the door rules of the feather door. The ants general things, dare to argue with me about the rules. Fang Han directly, stepping on the square face, stepping his face close to the ground, his mouth groaning, said if you don't speak, how to run the mana will not help. Fang Han! You dare to upset the Mountain River list competition, ignoring the feather door rules. The other two people who are fighting on the stage, Fang Rui, Fang Lai was shocked, bursting together, flew over to the side of Fang Han, and at the same time Zhong mouth spit, the crystal light shines is actually a few treasure level flying sword. The pearl of rice grain, also shines on China. Fang Han's left hand grabbed, and suddenly the sky magic hand flew out, and when he fished it, he took the two sword-level flying swords, and then the magic flame burned, and the mana above was all refining. Fang Rui, Fang Lai's spirit was touched, and a blood spit out. You are coming down too? Fang Han is again pointing, oh. Fang Lai, Fang Rui fell from the air, and the dead dog fell together with Fang Fang. Elders! Elders! Fang Han destroys the rules. Directly interfere with the Shanhabang contest. The three men screamed. Looking for death. Fang Han's eyes looked around, his left hand became a claw, once again caught. Lightning-like grasp of the three-person Tianmen head, turned out to be a waste of 3 magical powers. Stop! At this time, several elders who maintained order began to burst out, each of them issued a brilliance, and surrounded by Fang Han. Although Fang Han defeated Meng Xiaobai, now he is famous, and among the disciples of Yu Huamen, it is counted. 100 years after the head of the election, but such a naked destruction of the rules, even Huatian cannot. Several elders, do you think that I am destroying the rules of the door? These 3 people are actually undercover in the magic road, and they are deliberately guessing. I came to my feathering door for another purpose, and I saw it through it. So I took it down and lifted the danger from my feathering door. However, Fang Han saw a few guanghua flying, his hand waving, covering the sky with a few fingers, and all these brilliants were bounced back. Oh! Although several elders are powerful, there is one master of heaven and humanity, but where is Fang Han's opponent? He is countered by an understatement. Fang Han! Let go of these 3 people. Do you think that you really became the ultimate priest of the Yu Huamen? I tell you that Huatian will step into the longevity secret and become a giant of the ages. At that time, I will feast the feast of the world, and I will be honored by the world. After hundreds of years, I will be abducted and will not be able to reach you. Now we have already sounded the alarm, and the elders are coming. You really thought that you had cultivated a little. Can you violate the door rules of the feather door? A thunder-like voice roared. Fang Han looked at it. It turned out that Lai Yi, the elder of the Lai Yang, did not know when it appeared on the elders. It turned out to be the elder of Jin Da. Hey! You actually maintain these few magic trails lurking into the embers of my feathering door. It seems that you must have a connection with the magic road. Wait for me to take you down. Then go to the Tiantai to rule your sins. Fang Han's eyes turned over and sneered, and a big hat was buckled up. He did not hesitate to start. The sky-sharp hand rotates in the air. Suddenly the magic flame, 5 colors of light, thunder lightning directly shrouded to Kim Illinois Lai. No one thought that Fang Han would be so strong, such a savage. Actually dare to directly capture the elders. Many elders were suddenly taken aback. Fang Han, you dare. Jin really was also stunned by Fang Han's arrogance. He saw the enchanted hand grabbed it, and opened his mouth. A smoldering sphere flew to the big hand. Immediately, a golden flame was emitted, burning. Sun Jinyang? Carving insects and tricks, Eugene really maintains this magic road undercover. Do you think I can't cure you? Fang Han, regardless of the 3721, the sky-covered magic hand grabbed, the burning sun gold flame all gathered get up, he was forcibly captured. He is now in the door of the feathers, as long as it is not a long-lived mysterious giant, but it is not afraid at all. Although Kim Illinois Jong is a master of the 5-day, heavenly world, he does not prevent him from deducting a magical road. Go up. Anyway, today, he has natural evidence. Fang Man, Fang Lai, Fang Rui 3 other Protoss pieces, how to deal with them is not excessive, and he also set up his own power today, monopolized the Mountain River List competition prize. The prizes for this Mountain River List competition are too rich. Hundreds of treasures are not mentioned. The first, Big Guns and Kings, is a perfect magic weapon, although it is not comparable to Yang Yu Jianzhen and John Ling. Array, but if a master who has entered the mysterious secrets gets this magic weapon and arranges a big battle, he can immediately overcome the challenge, defeat the triple ambiguity, and even the master of the 4 yin and yang. Of course, the most chilly eyes are the 5 yin and yang Wanshou Dan. This is the same as the 9 Jin Jindan and Thunderbone Relic, the first-class medicinal herbs, which add up to 600 years of life. Now that Fang Han gets one tablet, he can once again raise the body to a higher level. Even the expansion of the sea and the ability to accommodate the magical powers are not necessarily true. Although he got 1 grain last year, he gave it to the dragon in order to meet the indigo. But because of this, he has not taken this remedy, and the efficacy is still useful to him. How can these 5 spirits be made available to others? In any case, the owner of Hongi County, the Crane Fairy, must get a grain. As for the rest of the people, the indigo people get, Fang Han can naturally use the baby to change the drug. If it is not the identity of the witch is the big assurer, even Fang Han can let her compete for the Shanhe list. Also got a remedy, a few treasures. The door rule of the feather door, the demon and the demon cannot become true disciples. Of course, the Crane Fairy is also a demon. However, she was a spiritual bird of the feather gate since she was a child. That life experience is innocent. Fang Han is now powerful and strong. It is not difficult to get through the joints to give her an identity. However, the witch is now practicing in the 5 prison kings, taking the blood and rain of the demon god's palms to cultivate magical powers, and the harvest is also very large. Now Fang Man, Fang Lai, Fang Rui, these 3 slaves want to destroy the plan of Fang Han, get Yin Yang Wanshou Dan and the top 10 baby. How can this be? To be honest, the top 10 of the Shanhe list must be taken by their own people. If a disciple does not have long eyes, Fang Han does not mind to abolish him again. Although this is a naked control, but now the only one in the martial art can contend with him, not taking advantage of the opportunity to benefit. How can you live this opportunity? Yu Wei, who defeated Meng Xiaobai, can also play a role here. At the same time, let other disciples realize that, following the cold, he will cover himself. The benefits are really big. Bang! The golden sun, Jin really issued the sun. Jin Yang was charged. Fang Han is not included in his own fire, but a slight rotation in the finger suddenly turned into 3 mung bean-sized gold pills directly hit the square on the ground. Fang Rui, Fang Lai, 3 heroes on the head. What? 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 The 3 great slaves made a scream of screaming, and they all seemed to deflate the ball. A mana rushed out of the body and then dissipated in the air. The whole person then softened and did not have a little effort. In the eyes of the incomparable blame, Fang Han, how are you? We will not die with you. It turned out that Fang Han broke their knowledge of the sea, let the mana flow. It is equivalent to a big hole in the bottom of the barrel, and then cannot retain the mana, is equivalent to completely abolish their magic. Good guy, the master of the 3 supernatural secrets, Fang Han will be abolished. It is really hot, and I don't care about the rules. I have to know that I have stepped into the mysterious disciple, but the key protection objects in the martial art are very precious. Let's see how Fang Fang explained it. Even Hua Qianju did not dare to abruptly abolish the magic power of the mysterious disciple. Hey! 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 It's too embarrassing. This person is much more savvy than Hua Qian. But he is also extremely short-sighted. In the past few days, Indigo will announce his support for him to compete in the big position, he immediately today. I will not hesitate to violate the rules and help the disciples of the Indigo Council. If he gets him, he will at least not suffer. Yes, Fang Han's reincarnation peak, now there are grass and wood elves everywhere, strong medicine, full of vitality. If you can practice on his mountain, prepare at least 10 times faster. And also get enough Dan. I heard that after this mountain river list competition, he has to choose a good disciple and enter the reincarnation peak. If I can choose, maybe this time next year, I can also enter the mysterious secret. Let's take a look at it. This time Fang Fang violated the rules of the door. I don't believe it. He has nothing at all. Many disciples saw Fang Han's abolishment of Fang Man, Fang Rui, and Fang Lai's supernatural powers. They were shocked and envious of the disciples of the Indigo Society. Their minds were different. Some of them were originally disciples who supported Hua Qianju. Now they have gradually changed their minds and can enter the disciples of Yu Huamen. Which one is not human? If you know that there are disciples in the martial art facing Hua Tiandu, Fang Han will definitely suppress it in the dark, and the future will definitely be difficult. You 3 ants, Have an adventure, you should be a tail with a tail, what are you doing? Looking at the eyes of the three heroes, Fang Han kicked their faces with their ankles. Wow! The three men vomited blood, and the big incisors were in the blood. This is really impossible to say. Fang Han, you are looking for death. Jin Rili's son Jin Yang was taken away. He saw Fang Han use it to break the magical power of three disciples. He couldn't help but roar again. Several flame swords flew out to form a sword array and resist. Living in the, covering the magic hand, the body will fly and go to the feathered temple. Want to run? I said, you have to take your scorpion to the platform. Do you think that with your little meager mana, can you get rid of my hand? Fang Han didn't look at it, and the sorcerer's hand repeatedly flicked his fingers and put flames on it. When the sword bounced, it immediately shrouded Jin Rili and grabbed it. Although Kim Aisu is powerful, it is just a general item of the 5-day heaven and earth. It is impossible to withstand the baby who contains the magical power of the ghosts. Fang Han still can't stop. At this moment, a vast mana was conveyed from the air, and only one wrapped, the sunshade hand was resisted. Fang Han seems to be prepared early, the body moves, squatting. The magic hand is like a snake, and it is collected and merged with the blood of his left hand. When he receives the magic weapon, he sees a young man on the elders. In the Qingjun, with great dignity, it is the elders of the ancient giants. This time Fang Han disturbed the Shanhe list competition, and even the three supernatural disciples, but also the elders. No one has stopped him, and the elders of the elders have to come out to stop. Fang Han, although you have a very high achievement, you have great potential. If you are a person who teaches for the future, but you want to destroy the rules, I can't let you. Even if you practice in the longevity, as long as you are a disciple, you have to follow the rules of the door. Let me talk about it. How do you explain this matter? The elders of the day sentence looked at Fang Han, although a few days ago, he borrowed some of the forgotten water from Fang Han to help him to cultivate the second secret of his life, the body of immortality. However, the friendship is the result of the relationship, the door rule is the door rule. Fang Han today blatantly offends the door rules. If there are not enough reasons, then it must be disposed of. Elders of heavenly punishment, this matter matters? Are you deliberately playing the prestige? Fang Han suddenly conveyed a spiritual idea. The three men I abolished are 100% Protoss arranged by the Protoss. A man named Mr. Magic, then Mr. Shinjing took the three as a registered disciple and raised the three wastes to the mysterious secret at all costs. And I dare to conclude that through the magical power of these three wastes, there must be a situation in which the Protoss watched the Yuhuamen Mountain River competition, so I abolished the magical power of these three people. These three wastes must be reviewed. Look at my feathering door, there are no other Protoss spies. What are you talking about? The elders of the sentence accepted the spiritual exchange of Fang Han, listening to the nose and eyes. Immediately waving your hand, this matter, go to the heavenly palace to say. Mountain River list competition, as usual. After a while, Fang Han found himself in the palace of the Qiangui. He was about to talk. The elders of the sentence sentenced Fang Man, Fang Rui and Fang Lai to the ground, and the three lords immediately cried, Elders, elders are the masters of us. We are not in the magic. People, Fang Han Yu depends on us. Fang Han, don't say anything, I have decided. 3 memories, 3,000. The elders of the sentence took a shot, hee. All three of them had a palm in their hands, and suddenly their souls came out and turned into many images. The elders of the sentence were carefully identified and suddenly pointed at them. Several black men emerged from the memory of 3 people. One of them was the illusion of true God, and his face showed a sneer, and a circle of light was looming behind his head. Good guy, it's really a Protoss. Actually still peeping around. Fang Han, this time you make a great contribution, come with me. Boom. The elders of the sentence were shocked, the big sleeves waved, Fang Man, Fang Lai, and the bodies of Fang Rui were shocked and smashed into souls. Let's kill the Protoss together. Then report it to the teacher. Great. The elders of heaven can actually search for the memory of the soul. I don't have this kind of supernatural power. I don't know that after practicing Jindan, refining the 9 ghosts, many ghosts and magical powers, is there such a magical power? Fang Han sees cold sweat straight out. This only knows that the longevity secrets are not easy to provoke. Seeing that the elders of the heavens disappeared, he quickly seized the breath and followed. In the distance, above the ridiculous snow peaks, a few mysterious black men were watching around a water mirror. Suddenly, the water mirror broke down. The final picture was Fang Han, Fang Li, Fang Rui's magical power was abolished. Indeed, this Protoss master has imposed a ban on the 3 sluts. Damn, ****** it. That Fang Han is so blatantly ruining my porn. How is this possible? He is a true disciple. How can he slay the disciples who have cultivated to the mysterious secrets in the Shanhabang contest? How can the feather gates fit? Got him. If you arrogate again, you can't be arrogant. The magical ***** is roaring and roaring. Poor I wasted so much energy and medicine to cultivate the 3 wastes. Magic God, the 3 pieces you have now are invalidated. What should we do to infiltrate the plan of the door? Is it a failure? So how do we explain it to the future? There are 3 wastes that are wasted, and the energy is not 1. A small number, we are still only gods, did not evolve to the King of God. These losses are also a large number. The illusion of the god sneered again and again. Hey! Let's go first, then from the long-term plan, I finally know why the above is so scruples about the Yuhuamen. I said that after the emergence of the door is a huge obstacle to the occupation of the world of Xianhuang. I think that the obstacles should be in the square. This is the body of the cold. This time, I will report all the circumstances of Fang Han to the above. Between the words of the magical gods, there was a sudden shock. Come on, go later, we are late. We were discovered. The number of gods, the gods will soon be able to display magical powers, run the mana to escape, but late, suddenly a big snowstorm, 10-fold close, dozens of wind and snow condensed into a sphere, wrapped them in. One the faint voice sounded, several Protoss warriors, not far from the hundreds of millions of miles, came from outside the field to my feather door to be a guest, so I left, passed out. Is it not said that my feather door lacks hospitality? It is the master of the gods. It is the master of the longevity secret. We are trapped. The illusion of God is exclaimed. It's still a great elder, and you can find the Protoss master with the soul of 3 wastes. The power of these Protoss is much stronger than the 2 that I killed last time. If they absorb their power and body, how many remedies can be produced? Fang Han followed the elders of the sentence, and also saw several Protoss masters trapped by the mana, and his heart was overjoyed. Fang Han, kill them. I have to cast a mana, and cut off their summoning of other masters. The Protoss is very powerful. The ***** is equivalent to the realm of our monks, and the King of God is Jin Dan and Jin. More than Dan. The Emperor's master is equivalent to the longevity secret. When the Protoss cultivated to the gods, their power of God changed. They could exert a storm of the mind, not only the power, but also the Protoss who sent 300,000 miles away in a blink of an eye. Help, I will use my mana to take pictures of their soul storms, and you will kill them immediately. In an instant, the spirit of the elders of heavenly punishment was conveyed into the mind of Fang Han. Fang Han did not say anything. The cover of the magic hand directly sacrificed, swept on the spot, pinched to a few gods. Fang Han, you really are the obstacles that my family has calculated. You should destroy you before you grow up. The magical **** suddenly turned back, roaring, both hands grasping the center of the palm, actually gave birth to 2 eyes. It is similar to the eyes on the 6-eye seal. The 2 eyes in this palm shot a strange light, cutting to the square cold. The sharpness is almost as good as Fang Han's large cutting. And those strange light, but also a squeaking sound, seems to be resonating with the heavens and the earth. This is the storm of the mind. The power is so great, you must not keep your hands, otherwise you will inevitably get hurt. Fang Han did not put these Protoss in his eyes, but there was a reminder from the elders of the heavenly punishment. At the same time, when he covered the magic hand, caught the light, there was some slight pain, which was known to be powerful. Give me all to die? If you are all kings of God, then I can't help but what is God. Fang Han swept his left hand and tore the light of the storm of the soul. Suddenly a large sleeve, 6 the function monument flew up, and a large array of gods was formed in an instant. It is rumored that the 6 Ming seal is a refinery of the ancient times, which specifically seals the existence of the Protoss. With the intuition, Fang Han knows that this thing must have a peculiar effect against the Protoss. Sure enough, as soon as 6 stone tablets appeared in the air, several great gods immediately felt the catastrophe. Crazy stunned, face to face, one by one showing the prototype, actually the whole body of the armor, with the tentacles on the head, a trio of horror than the demon. Those bone armor are their skin, these Protoss, one by one like a crab, the bones grow outside. However, the gods of the gods shrouded and shrouded. 6 eyes of the 6-headed gods were illuminated, and several great gods could not move. It's hard to get rid of them, but it's going to be a lot easier. Ha 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 ha. Fang Han did not expect it so easily. I felt the 6 sacred monuments tremble constantly, the eyes above are constantly swaying, the fluctuations of the 6 great gods are constantly struggling. If these 6 great gods are the ******* king, the 6-headed seal of the monument, it must be suppressed. Without further ado, Fang Han's body flew in and approached the 6 great gods. The blue light in his hands condensed and used the power of the world tree. One palm was photographed on the body of the 6 great gods. Hey, he. In an instant, there are endless horrors in the eyes of these 6 great gods. Their bodies are all the roots of the tree of the world. The power of their gods is constantly extracted. The power of God is not a master of longevity. There are actually horrible things to digest. The 6 great gods whimpered, their bodies were getting smaller and smaller, and they seemed to be sucked out. Fang Han, stop, leave one, I will give the head to explain. The sect of the sect is like the support of Hua Qianju, look at you, look for your trouble. If there is no evidence, he will the elders of the heavens saw that Fang Han actually took the power of God and could not help but be amazed. Although he had long known that there was a mysterious baby in Fang Han, he could take advantage of the celestial spirit and refine the medicine. So he sent his eyes to see some clues, but found that Fang Han's eyebrows were clear and nothing could be seen. The original tree of the world has been refining and integrating into the Qing dynasty. He can't really see it, unless he is bombarding his own mana and looking directly at it. Okay, then I will leave one. Boom! Fang Han's palm pushed the magical gods directly. Then the other 5 great gods narrowed down and then shrank, and even the bones on the body melted. In the end, there was only a group of crystal ***** with 100 treasures, which were wrapped with many medicinal herbs, flying swords, magic weapons and materials. This is the Protoss treasure, their bodies have melted. But the treasure bag has stayed. When Fang Han looks at it, he knows that the Protoss is self-contained and can store things. The crystal ball of this group is the storage space that the Protoss cannot melt. It contains 5 years of savings from the gods, and now he is naturally cheaper. He is now a poor man, he is very tight on hand, and he does not know what to take for the yin and yang of the Indigo Society. Now he has the savings of 5 gods, at least he is well on hand. What is even more powerful is that after the bodies of the 5 gods were all absorbed by the tree of the world, they actually condensed into 5 small fruits on the tree of the world of the eyebrows. The tree of the world will actually result. This is something that Fang Han has never discovered. Cannot help but bowed, and quickly asked about the. It seems that the tree of the world has absorbed the Protoss, and it will condense a fruit on the tree. When it was ancient, it was called the ***** of the fruit. When the ancient mortal ate the gods, you can have the magical power. I thought and thought, but you also sucked a Protoss last time. Why didn't you produce the magical fruit? I can't figure it out. Maybe the last Protoss power is too weak, this time the Protoss are all gods. Powerful, equivalent to the master of the 5-day heaven and earth. In the monastic world are the characters of the vertical and horizontal, condense the magical fruit, it's not unusual. Fang Han felt a bit of magical fruit. If you can really make ordinary people eat, you can make a magical power. It's amazing. I don't believe that this fruit has such a wonderful power. I want to know Joey. Jin Dan, Yin Yang, and Longevity Dan can only enhance the chances of repairing the magical powers, laying a solid foundation, and cannot directly promote people to supernatural powers. Try it, anyway. The world tree has all kinds of unimaginable effects. The fruits that are formed must be wonderful. I also heard rumors that the tree of the world, when it was ancient, absorbed the master of the gods, and the top will still if you condense the long fruit. You don't know if it's true. I also feel that I don't believe it, but it's impossible to take one to get to the longevity. This is of course impossible. A fruit can make people become giants of the ages. The immortals don't have this ability. Fang Han also shook his head. Well, all destroyed, their mental storm did not pass out, will not alarm the other Protoss. The elders saw the cold absorbed 5 gods, swung the big sleeves, and suddenly took the magical gods. The two then fell into the mountain river courtyard at the same time. Fang Han is back. There is no punishment. How is this possible? Is it that the 3 people are really undercover? It is also possible that the elders of the heavenly sentence will also support Fang Han as a supreme master in the future, so this time it will be a smuggling law. How is it possible? The elders of the heavens have always been unselfish, the rules are extremely strict, and even if he cannot monopolize power, Kim Ili has gone to the Yuhua temple to find the elders, and come to preside over justice. Some true disciples, as well as the elders, saw the appearance of Fang Han safe and sound, and they were shocked again and their arguments rose. Fang Man, Fang Lai, Fang Rui 3 people are indeed undercover. I was fortunate enough to find Fang Han early, eradicate the Bane, and I went out with Fang Han, killing the magician master who was lurking outside. This time Fang Han Li great merit. I will hold a Presbyterian meeting to discuss how to reward Fang Han. The elders of the sentence were facing many elders present and the disciples inside and outside. 10. I always thought that you enforced the law impartially, grasped the penalty. I can't think of it so private today. At this moment, a cold voice sounded, and Rui appeared in the mountain river courtyard. This video will end here. Like video and subscribe to my channel.